Alright, and we're live. I said you hear me, her done know what's good YouTube. It's your boy, Jose. I'm here with the homie, Petty B. Tell B, or tell the people what's up, B.
What's happening?
And Shana Don.
What up, DC?
And Godzilla's crying ass. What up, Godzilla?
Oh,
But,
there goes Sophie.
as you can see, the title, we are here for another Petty Review. Now, I know everybody's like, Petty Review? Ain't no pay-per-view right now? Well, the crew has some things, some strong words for the WWE when it came to this whole business of releasing some people. So that's what this episode is about. And we just gonna go ahead and get right into it. B, go ahead and fill everybody in on what's going on. Let the people know what has transpired.
Which transpired was last Friday afternoon. Alexa, you on? Are you still talking? Sorry about that. Last Friday, they came out with some releases, which I strongly disagree with. And the releases were Emma, Very Young, and Summer Rae. That's what we're gonna hit on at this very moment. Do they deserve to get released? 2 doesn't, but 1 does. They are super petty on how they did it. Fucking assholes. Sean, do you agree or disagree with their releases?
So, I don't necessarily agree with any of them being released. I mean, when you consider, like, getting released is essentially the nice way of saying they got fucking fired. Nobody wants to get fired from a job, whether you're a wrestler or working at the, construction site, so that's never good news to get. Summer Rae's release, I can at least kind of understand it. I mean, she hasn't really done anything relevant, wrestling related in a year. I don't know if that's because I don't know if that's because she was hurt or they just didn't know how to package her to make her a relevant person on the show, but
let's be honest, she hasn't been relevant since Eva Marie.
Yeah, basically. So I can at least understand why she got released because of that, but it still probably like sucks for her, obviously. Darren Young, I just feel like they don't know what to do with him.
True.
Like, they did the whole angle where Bob Backlund was his coach, and it was make Darren Young great again. They did the whole angle with him being part of Titus, like, worldwide, or whatever the hell it's called. Like, they just don't know what to do with him anymore. And so, from that perspective, I can see why they released him. But at the same time, like, when do you start looking at your creative team and saying that like it's their fault, but they can't figure out what to do with the talent? And secondly, the fact that he actually is injured, it's really petty of them to release him before he even got a chance to like come back and try something. It's just like, oh yeah, you just like tore your ACL, but we're cutting you. That's pretty much what they did to him. Emma, I disagree with because I don't think that she deserved to be cut. But I'm happy they did because I feel like they really haven't known what to do with Emma in years. And she deserves to be getting more attention than she gets. So I'm glad that now at least she'll have the opportunity to try to go to another company and get that rightful spotlight that she wasn't getting in WWE.
We can only hope that.
But at the same time, do I think she should have been released? No, I think she's a very good female wrestler and did not deserve to get released. But I can only hope that that's the positive that comes out of it, because we have seen that in the past when people like Cody Rhodes get released and then they go on to be like big name people in other organizations. So.
Okay. So basically, my questions would be: first off, now y'all both. So I'm assuming y'all both feel Summer is the one who deserved to get cut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, B, did you express why you felt she should be cut?
There was no point of her fucking being there from the jump street. She was just a pretty face.
She
That's
was
just kind of the
basically,
small talk. She was there for a pretty face.
yeah, I mean, I think me and B talked about this on Mike another time, and we pretty much agreed she's a modern day Stacy Keibler with less talent.
Okay, gotcha.
Long legs, blonde hair, pretty face, no actual wrestling talent, not even a good mic worker, so she's really got no reason to be in the WWE outside of her ring. And I mean, at this point in time, not only do I feel like female wrestlers deserve more than that, but I feel like that's gotta be insulting to the female wrestlers who have worked their ass off to get where they are, and then you see Summer Rae getting pay-per-view matches. It's like, why the fuck is she getting a pay-per-view match? I work 3 times as hard as she does.
Right, truly. So hers is pretty cut and dry. She just ain't deserve to be there in the first place. Now,
Pretty much.
B, how do you feel about Darren Young? Do you just kind of co-sign what Sean says, or do you got more to add?
I'm more or less pissed on how he did it. The guy was on fucking injury list. And keep in mind, he got injured on Raw, a nationwide TV show. So you choose to release him via Twitter. But number one, that's so petty. Number two, that's disrespectful. And if it was me, I'm taking your ass to court. Cause I didn't bust my ass.
Right.
And now I gotta pay out of pocket.
Yeah. Unjust termination or something. There's gotta be
Right.
some type of... He should talk to Paul Heyman. You all know Paul Heyman is practically a damn lawyer. I mean, I'm sure he can know him some angle on how to make a lawsuit out of that shit.
Now, my question is for him. So y'all said they didn't use him right, or they didn't know what to do with him. Do y'all think?
Do you agree with that statement?
No. Okay, here's the thing. When it comes to wrestling, they quicker than what they used to. You know, back in the day when you had a faction, they were actually, you know, they'd be together for like 4 or 5 years, and then they might break them up.
Right. The
But
nation
nowadays, nowadays they have a faction for like a good year to a good run, and then decide to break them up. One person does good, the other person does horrible. And then they be quick to let the person that does horrible go. Like, bro, what's the fucking point? Are you even trying to break them up?
Right.
You was making more money when they was together.
So who was he with a tag team with?
He was
Titus O'Neil.
O'Neil. They was the primetime
players.
And to me, they was a good tag team. They just booking was just horrible for them.
I mean, the booking is horrible across the board, so for real, you can't even use that as an excuse.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, if everyone's getting bad booking, then you can't say they were booked bad. It's just everyone's getting bad booking altogether.
Yeah, so that's
It's
just the
basically
book.
nowadays. Hey, look, nowadays in WWE, it's like fucking Syndro off of The Incredibles. If everyone's super, then nobody is.
Right.
when we get to Emma, we can both agree and disagree that the book was horrible, but we didn't get that far yet.
Well, my thing is with the dude.
I can't even deny that.
With dude Darren, the next step. Where's next? Is there a place he can go to bounce back? Is any other leagues?
So I don't know how.
And how would you use him? Say this is okay. 2-part question. Is there a league he could go to? Do you feel he's good enough to where he could go somewhere else, to Japan, TNA, or something else I don't know about, and get his stock back up to where they'll want to bring him back? But then when they bring him back, how would you use him successfully?
So for me, and I'm not necessarily saying this is why he was fired. It could be completely related to the fact that he did just happen to get injured at the wrong time.
Right.
But something that I didn't even know until he got fired. And B said, like, when we talked about it, B was like, oh yeah, I knew that. Apparently he's openly gay. I didn't even realize that. Like, so I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun and say maybe that did play a factor in him getting released, but it certainly is possible that could have been an underlying factor. I don't know. The problem is, it's not like the good old days where if you got released from WWE, you could go to WCW and have just as much acclaim. Or if you weren't maybe as good to where you could make it there, you could go to ECW and do all the crazy stunts and still get paid pretty well. Nowadays, you have the indies, which is the underground shit that, like, you don't even really see their pay-per-views, but like once a year. Like Ring of Honor, people always bring up Ring of Honor. I acknowledge a lot of great wrestlers have come out of the Ring of Honor system, but Ring of Honor, you maybe get 1-2 pay-per-views a year. It's not like an actual profitable enterprise for your career. It's what you do. That's why they're called the indies. It's what you do
to get into the big show
on the map, so that somebody will hire you. That's a bigger company. But like when you're already a big star, like you would never see John Cena go to Ring of Honor.
Right.
Like it just wouldn't make any sense for him. So,
unless he was only doing the pay-per-views, right?
Right, unless he was literally doing it just for like the shits and giggles. But like even then, I don't think John Cena would do it.
Right.
But then you've got what used to be TNA. It's actually no longer called TNA. I believe it's now called, is it GNA or GWA? Some shit like that. Man,
no, it's Global Wrestling now. They changed the name again.
They changed it again. See, there you go. Yeah. They changed their name more times than a bitch on her period changes her tampon. They can't decide what their name wants to be.
Yeah, like, Jarrett, that's why.
They fuck that company, man. That company was great in
when they had the 6-sided ring.
Circa 2003 to 2008. That company was great. And Hulk Hogan and old ass Sting and Ric Flair and all the fucking corruption in that company with Dixie Carter and Jeff Jarrett, they ran that company into the ground. That ain't even a viable option anymore. Like, you think about it. The biggest stars of TNA are all now in WWE with the exception of Abyss. He's like the only one who's still there. AJ Styles, he's in WWE. Samoa Joe, he's in WWE. Bobby Roode, he's in WWE. Oh, they still got Bobby Lashley, who started in WWE and probably will come back to WWE soon.
Nah, he's not going to. He want to fight Brock Lesnar in an MMA match.
Well, I'll believe that
that's how they doing it now.
I'll believe it when I see it. But I mean, it's just like, I don't know. The only place I could see Darren Young going that would make sense for keeping him relevant and actually having like a high level of competition for him to improve his skills would be to go to New Japan. But the level of work that is required for New Japan, like, we can't understate the amount of work that goes into that. And that's not to discredit the amount of work that goes into being a WWE wrestler, but it's different.
Very different.
WWE,
shut some shit down.
when you sign the dotted line for WWE, it becomes less about your in-ring ability and more about what can you do on the microphone and do you know how to play to the cameras. Even the great AJ Styles, as great as he is, they had an interview with him, and the first thing he said was, the hardest thing for me, even having been a TNA champion and a New Japan champion, it wasn't the wrestling, it wasn't the crowds, it was the cameras during a live show. Realizing that instead of having 1 or 2 cameras videotaping and like broadcasting the feed to the channel, WWE has about 20. And you gotta know where all them motherfuckers are at all times so that you know what camera you need to be looking at during the scene. That's the hardest part about making it to WWE. It's not your in-ring ability. Everyone at that level can wrestle, at least to some degree. Even John Cena, as much as people like to shit on John Cena, the dude can wrestle better than the Joe Schmoes wrestling at your fucking local gymnasium. Like, but for $5 a night and a free bag of popcorn after the show, like he wrestles better than that. But it's playing to the cameras, and then obviously what can you do on the mic, because as we had that discussion the other day, if you can't cut a promo, you can never be the true face of the company. You just can't, no matter how good you are. You just can't be the face of the company without a promo.
But that's the whole thing, that would I have to disagree with you at, because they have a fucking face of the company that can't do a promo to save his life. His best promo was against John Cena.
Oh, he's not the face of the company, though, is he?
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. Don't get it twisted. He is not the face of the company. Period. He is not.
So
that is.
Go ahead.
Okay, you still got John Cena wrestling.
Part-time.
Okay, part-time, but he's still the person who draws the name recognition, not Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns sells out rings as much as I hate to admit it. He sells out.
He does for the fans, but I'm talking about the casual watcher. If you say, do you know who Roman Reigns is? They might, but if you say, do you know who John Cena is? Every motherfucker is going to say, oh yeah, of course I know John Cena.
Well, he's been there for fucking like 15 years.
Exactly. So, I mean, I consider John Cena is one of the faces of the company. Brock Lesnar is a face of the company.
Oh gosh, did you have to mention her name?
I did have to mention Brock Lesnar's name because no matter how much you don't like the motherfucker, he is the biggest pay-per-view draw they have.
He's a fucking part-time.
It doesn't matter. He sells.
But he did start. He started out there though, right? That's where he came from.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he came from Ohio Valley Wrestling, which was the developmental territory for WWE back in the day. It was the NXT before they had NXT, basically.
Gotcha.
And then I would say the other face of the company is Mr. the face that runs the place, AJ Styles. So.
What about to do on the cover of the game?
Seth Rollins. I mean. Seth Rollins, I love Seth Rollins, and he is a very liked superstar. There's a lot of people who love Seth Rollins and can respect his work ethic. The problem with Seth Rollins is, A, he has had too many injury issues. He's been injured about 2 or 3 different times already. And B, he doesn't actually have, like, a meaningful singles championship right now.
Well,
You can't really be the face of the company if you don't at least have either the Intercontinental or the Heavyweight Championship. That's just the way I look at it. So, but anyway, I digress. So, compare all of that WWE corporate bullshit media machine to New Japan. The reason I say New Japan works harder, and it's not necessarily like harder that they do more work, but it's just such a different type of work. New Japan, if you watch the matches, the fans hardly make a sound. Ask any WWE wrestler, they will tell you that that's weird. Like, they're so used to the crowd being a vocal part of the environment that to wrestle a match in virtual silence would completely throw them off of their game. Like, they don't know what to do. The second thing, and I've said this for years, New Japan, the amount of physicality and selling the bumps, they take it to a new level because we're in the PG era of WWE these days. The bumps have taken several steps down from what they used to be. Yes, you still have the occasional high-risk move like Shane McMahon jumping off the top of a Hell in a Cell, but those are few and far between when you have something like that happen. New Japan, they're doing crazy spots every freaking week. I mean, they've got women jumping through the rungs of ladders from the inside the ring outside to do a flying DDT onto another bitch in a ladder match for the women's division. That's the kind of shit they do in New Japan. Like, New Japan just takes it. Like, you want to talk about a table match? Nah, how about we do a burning table match with barbed wire wrapped around the table?
Oh, okay, they ECW.
But the thing is they can also have a technical wrestling match where it's 30 minutes of them just doing hold and counter, and it's equally enjoyable. Like, there's a very fantastic American wrestler over there right now. I think he's the TV US champion or something like that, named Kenny Omega. And
that man's a beast.
He is amazing. How he is not in WWE is beyond me, because that guy can flat out wrestle. I mean, he should be in WWE if you're going off his talent level. Hell, he's better than half the roster they got right now. So, it's just different. I could see Darren Young trying to do something like that, honestly. He could make a run at New Japan if they would take him and try to build up his name and maybe get like a TV championship or something like that. Like he's not going to get the IWGP belt or anything like that, but he could get a TV championship and kind of get his name out there again and maybe come back to the WWE. Who knows? It really just depends on Darren Young. What does Darren Young want to do? You know, he's got to take that look in the mirror and say, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life, or is it time to start looking for a new profession? So, I'm sorry, I got a little long-winded there.
It's totally fine.
It happens sometimes.
He asked the question, he got the answer.
Alright, well, B, the same thing for you.
It was the same thing he said. That was it.
When's the last time you heard an answer so good B didn't have anything to add?
Oh my gosh, really?
I don't think ever.
At this moment, okay? And you don't fucking agree with his ass, okay? God damn it. Shit.
Okay. Huh? Well, so the next person is Emma. Now, I know this probably is the most controversial one, I'm assuming.
Oh my gosh.
You know how B feel about it. That's his girl, so he was very upset.
That is an understatement.
Like the WWE, I was trying to keep it PG. Absolute ribbon.
Like, bro, what the fuck? The roster, for years, didn't use her at all for a jobber status. So here she go, now she won a battle royal to face Asuka at TLC.
Well, first off, B, let's take it back a What was
I'm
her
listening.
character in NXT? Like, was her character...
Emma, she was a heel. She was a heel.
That's what I was gonna say though. When she first came on and she had that dumb gimmick with Santino Marella, was that her character from the original run?
Yeah, we can.
No.
No, so she was always that like heel, and
She
then
was
when
always
the first
heel.
time, and the first time they called her up to the main roster, they suddenly changed her into this baby face who does this stupid little dance.
Right.
So off break, they're showing you they don't know how to use her character because they completely changed her character from the NXT show to the main show.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So then they
Got me.
repackage her. They repackage her as sexy Emelina, right?
Right, that failed miserably. First of
Failed
all,
miserably.
they promoted her for like 4 months. And then when she finally came out, she just came out on the fucking rant, dressed
And
up
did
in
that-
a dress, and did like
and-
a fucking 10-minute promo that had that said completely nothing.
Yeah.
Completely nothing. And then next week she came back to Emma.
Right. So then she goes back to her actual heel character of Emma, and that's when they finally had her do the main roster version of that character, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So now she's back to being heel Emma.
Right.
What is wrong with how they used her character?
They didn't utilize her. Like, to me, she was the start of the women's revolution. To me. She was one that started like the new generation. I'm not discrediting Lee and Trish or Reese and none of them, but I'm saying for today, to make us to like enjoy women's wrestling again. We had like a long year gap of women's wrestling that we can enjoy.
We had the Bella years, unfortunately.
Right. So, Emma came along and started wrestling, technical wrestling. And that's when I used to bring Natalia down to NXT to wrestle. They had Paige at NXT, but they needed more females. So that's when Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, that's when they all came in. Right, that's when they all came in. So like basically after like 3 months of them being there, they called Emma up and didn't use Emma at all. So she was just there in the background until they was like, oh, we got something you can do. Flirt with Santino. Like, what bitch? So she plays along with it. And that's what that was. And then she went back and they went back to Emelina. Paradise is coming. Whatever the fuck that promo shit was.
All I remember is the one promo of hers I saw was when she came out and did some table dancing like she was in Gypsies.
And that failed miserably. That literally failed miserably.
It failed
just
miserably because
sounds-
that's not. It failed miserably because that's not what the audience wants anymore. Not even the male audience wants that shit anymore.
What that
We've come a
stuff?
long way. We've come a long way from those
Yes, we
days
have.
when we wanted to see Sable with no fucking bra and just handprints over her titties and
Mhm.
bra and panty matches and all that shit. That's not what we care about no more.
That ain't real
We actually
real.
want to see women doing the same shit the men do because they are talented enough to do that. I mean, I know we both agreed that their execution of the idea went very, very poorly, but we were both happy that they finally gave the women a Money in the Bank match because we felt like it was a long time fucking coming.
Uh-huh.
We're now saying, is it time to do a women's Royal Rumble match finally? Which is a
And
long time
that's
fucking
also
coming.
rumored. Nope, that's also rumored as well. For this January. That's also rumored. We're gonna get there at the Survivor Series. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah. So it's not about being sexy anymore. No matter how much people think that the Bellas got their success from being sexy, the Bellas were kind of the only thing going in a time when there wasn't any women's division. Like it was the
Except for
Bellas.
AJ Lee.
It was the
And then
Bellas,
Paige came along.
AJ Lee, and fucking Natalia, and that was it. So they got away with being sexy because there just wasn't a women's division to be had in the first place.
Wait a minute, you forgot Alicia Fox, and I'm gonna touch on her in a minute too.
Okay, look, leave Diary of a Mad Black Woman out this shit right now. Okay,
Hey,
we can't go into that shit right now. All right.
Disrespect her.
I can't even take her seriously. I can't even take her seriously.
Okay.
Get Fountain of Youth Medea the fuck out of the conversation.
Okay. We're getting off subject now. Okay.
But
so,
yeah.
Back to Karen. Emma won the Battle Royal to face Emma at TLC. Oscar. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll put the alcohol down for now. So.
He beyond that.
So
yak
Emma.
And lean.
Yeah. So Emma defeated Sasha Banks to fight Oscar. Perfect. Okay. Kudos, bitch. Kudos. So now you got the push you want. Next week on Raw, the Monday before TLC. What happened? They don't even put her on the card. Not for no promo, not for no run out. They don't even put her on the card for nothing. TLC comes. They have a decent match. Kind of remind me of the little NXT match they had in London. Nice little match. Monday Night Raw comes. They have a rematch. Same outcome, Oscar wins. Friday, Emma has been released. Bitch, what? So you telling me you really just gave this woman a fucking push just to release her? Was she that bad backstage? Was she that much of an asshole? Like, I'm not seeing where y'all going with this.
I mean, I can't even say that because we've had far worse backstage personalities that got away with much more and were not released from the company. So I can hardly imagine that she could have been that terrible backstage when you got my girl. I love her to death, but this girl had a damn sex tape leak and they're still trying to get her back in the fucking ring. Like...
I don't even want to touch on that, because then I'm going to bring up China. I don't even want to touch on that. I don't even want to touch on that. I'm a Paige fan too, but I don't even want to touch on that. But I just think that was some straight bullshit on how they released Emma.
So,
yeah.
She had a push, and they chose not to fucking...
They basically pushed her into a, we're gonna have you job out to the new girl on the block real quick and then release you. Like, the fuck? Where'd they do that out?
WWE.
Yep.
So what's the next step for Emma? Where can she go to be a real wrestler?
She can go anywhere. That's just how good she is in the ring.
Where is anywhere?
She can go to New Japan. I can see her in New Japan.
Yeah, I think New Japan is probably the best option for her. She could go to...
She can go to
whatever they want to name it right now.
I prefer to go to Ring of Honor.
But yeah, but if you go to TNA, the Knockouts division is shall we say lacking in the credibility department. So
wouldn't do much.
Yeah, it would kind of almost be a step back from her instead of a step forward. You definitely could see her do Ring of Honor if she really wanted to. She could go to New Japan. That would be, I think, probably the best destination for her. Because in New Japan, they don't hinder your character. They let you do what you want to do, as long as you can play the character and the fans are interested. They let you get away with whatever you want to do. So if she wants to be crazy American heel Emma, or Australia, or wherever the hell she's actually from, I forget off the top of my head, then...
I believe it's Australia.
Yeah, so non-Japanese wrestler, let's say.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then she can do that, and as long as it gets over with the crowd, they're gonna love her. They're not gonna tell her that she can't, do something just because they might not necessarily understand her method to the madness, so to speak.
Right.
But I can also say this: every time, not every time, but when a person gets released from WWE, they usually go over to New Japan and become bigger stars
That's very true. Very
than what they
true.
were here. And
And
when
you
they
know
came
who
back
started
here,
that?
they was
And you know who
automatically
started that?
noticed.
Yep, and you know who started that? I mean, not going to Japan, because wrestlers have always gone to Japan. Even Chris Jericho and Dean Malenko and all of them wrestled in Japan. But the first person to get released from WWE and then go to New Japan was actually Brock Lesnar when he had his first championship run and left the company and then went to New Japan and became the IWGP
You sure?
champion.
I thought it was AJ Styles.
Nah, he was the first one. He was the first one to actually do that, to like leave the company and then go
No,
to New
AJ
Japan.
Styles went to TNA, then New Japan.
Yeah, AJ Styles
Okay.
was in TNA and then New Japan, but he wasn't in New Japan until like 2011. Brock Lesnar was in New Japan way back in like 05.
Yeah, because AJ Styles got cut back in 2002.
Right. Yeah, but that's when he went to TNA and had a very successful career in TNA, to say the least. Probably the best TNA wrestler of all time when everything is said and done.
Christopher Daniels, but that's never here and there. We ain't get to that discussion.
Okay, that's another day.
Yeah, that's another day.
show
Another
for another
discussion.
time.
Yeah. Sorry. So your thoughts on Emma?
Pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely fucked up that they cut her. She certainly didn't deserve to go out that way. If they were gonna cut her, they could have given her a better last hurrah than that. And I definitely think she has the talent to go elsewhere and be a pretty successful wrestler. I mean, I could definitely see her, especially since New Japan is so much more physical than WWE. I could see her being very successful in New Japan, where she's just like wrestling like a dude, so to speak. And in New Japan, they are
That style's gonna change.
Yeah, they're much more receptive to that type of wrestling in New Japan, with physicality, especially with regard to the women wrestlers in New Japan. They get to be a lot more creative than they are in WWE, where they're still kind of almost second-class citizens, for lack of a better term.
You can say that.
So I definitely could see her being successful in New Japan, where they kind of let her get off the leash, so to speak, and really do what she actually wants to do. So hopefully she does that, because she deserved better than what happened to her. That's for damn sure.
Okay, so as far as WWE without these characters, then so you pretty much all say Summer. I guess it really didn't matter what she did because she ain't deserve to be in the first place. Oh boy, he gotta decide what he want to do, and Emma go to New Japan and ball out. So
Yeah, pretty much.
WWE, does it for them, since they weren't even using them right in the first place, does it really matter? Or now that they're gone? Or
no, and that's the thing, is because they weren't being used properly anyway, it's not gonna really hurt them. The only thing I could maybe, and this is a big maybe, but maybe in some way the gay community could be like boycotting because Darren Young got fired, but I don't even know if that would happen. The Emma thing, people are going to be pissed about it, but there's so many other wrestlers that people care about. Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Bayley, Nia Jax, Alexis Bliss, fucking Natty, fucking Paige, if she does come back as soon as people are saying she will, Bayley, or yeah, I don't know. There's a ton of there's a ton of wrestlers that as much as I hate to say it, I don't think they'll miss Emma. And it's not even like they're at a shortage for heels, because Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax are both primarily heels. Charlotte can be a heel whenever the hell they want her to be, for the most part. So they're not really hurting in the heel department anyways, that it really makes a difference. Which is kind of the unfortunate thing about WWE, is that they're not hurting for anything to where they can get away with doing this shit.
No competition.
Anybody. Yeah, they can cut anybody because they have everything. They have heels. They have baby faces. They have world-class champions. They have jobber status type people. They have middle card people. Like, they don't need anybody. It's all just a luxury to them.
Right. So does this where y'all feel like there should be another WCW like company out there?
Well, they all are. They're just not.
But I mean one that's. But that's what I'm saying. One that is that big and American. Like if New Japan, from what it sounds, do y'all think if New Japan was in America?
If New Japan was an American-based company,
or even Canadian,
then yeah, it would be a lot more competitive in terms of the wrestling from WWE's side of things. But the fact that it's in Japan, it's basically like it's like when people talk about like you got soccer players.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is always like the English Premier League or maybe the Spanish Premier League, and playing for like Barcelona.
Yeah, La Liga, German. Yeah, there's one like I know what you mean. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no one really cares if you say you're going to play
to the MLS.
It's like even though the talent might be getting better in MLS, no one really cares, because it's like they're on the other side of the fucking pond. Like, that's not competition to us. We're competing with the people next door, not the people all the way over there.
Right. Who's at a higher level anyways.
Right. So,
Okay, so any final thoughts on that, or close out subjects?
It's going to be an interesting pay-per-view.
What's the next pay-per-view? Survivor Series. What is that day?
Raw versus SmackDown.
Raw versus SmackDown. Oh, that's with the Kurt Angle thing. That's what's up. That's dope.
All Raw champions versus all SmackDown champions.
But no belts changing hands though.
No belts changing hands.
Okay, so what's the?
For bragging rights, basically.
All right. So what's the? What's the lineup? Let me hear this.
Okay, so you got Raw Tag Team Champions are Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Right?
Dropping out some heavy hitters, ain't they?
Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus the Usos.
The Usos
I'm not
are the
gonna like that match.
SmackDown champions are the Usos. You got Intercontinental Champion is The Miz
versus Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin is the U.S. champion. You got Women's
Alexa
Champion
Bliss.
Alexa Bliss versus Natalia, right? Yep, Natalia. Okay. So she's the SmackDown Women's Champion. And then the main event, which I think is going to be
we don't know yet. Nope, we don't know that yet.
Squash.
Because it's breaking news. No, listen, it's fully breaking news. AJ Styles is challenging Jinder Mahal for the title on SmackDown.
Okay. Fair enough.
You thought what was going to be a squash?
The main event, unless AJ Styles wins, which, to be honest, I think they'll keep the belt on Jinder, unfortunately. But it's supposed to be Jinder versus Brock, which I think Brock is going to destroy him.
But if we got this special referee, it's Cena. And that's going to be the only wild card that helps Jinder win the match.
So Jinder goes up against Brock.
Yeah, I don't even think that helps Jinder win the match.
But you said, what about AJ Styles?
Well, AJ Styles is challenging for Ginger's title, so if
On
AJ
Tuesday.
wins, then it would be Brock versus AJ instead.
So you think they'll let AJ win it so they don't have to squash dude?
Hell no.
No, because that would be even worse. That would be an even worse result for them. And then you've got the men's division Survivor Series elimination match and the women's division Survivor Series elimination match, which will be 5-on-5 elimination. So every time someone gets pinned, they gotta leave the match, and you go until one team has been eliminated. We only know a couple of those competitors, though.
Hey, sis. But the catch-22 to that is the Oscar angle. What I was explaining to you earlier.
Yeah.
Which is fucking stupid to me. Still stupid.
What's that?
Basically, they want to keep her undefeated streak going. So they don't want to put her.
She's got the Goldberg effect right now.
Match. But at the same time, they want to put her in a singles match so she can continue on her undefeated streak.
But that's stupid though, because the whole thing is it's supposed to be champion versus champion. So why would she just be in a random singles match against a SmackDown person?
Asuka's not a champion.
Right, so she shouldn't even be on there, right?
Like, right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So unless she's in the women's match, she shouldn't be on the pay-per-view. What I'm honestly saying.
Well,
she should absolutely be in the women's match. But
that makes sense. I'll put her on a pre-show.
But now, let me throw this one at you. You're bringing up the Cena special referee. You're bringing up AJ Styles. How do you feel about the fact that they said Undertaker's supposed to return within the next week or two before Survivor Series?
I didn't hear that.
I heard that.
I heard he's returning for the 25th anniversary of Raw. That's going to be at the Manhattan Center and the Barclays Center. I heard that.
Well, yeah,
but I haven't heard him.
I heard he was returning for Raw too, but I guess maybe when is that? The 25th anniversary?
I believe that's in February.
February. Okay.
I believe.
The thing I saw made it seem like it was going to be a little bit sooner than that. But,
I mean, he may make an appearance
on the Undertaker's timetable. Who knows? A couple months is quick for him.
He's not walking around with his canes anymore, his crutches. He's good.
Right. So.
He had his hip surgery. Everything worked out. He back on his feet.
This nigga had hip surgery and he trying to come back. This nigga gonna die in the ring.
This man gonna die on his shield like some Leonidas shit, bro. Like.
The thing is, he don't need to come back. His name by itself sells tickets.
So I'm curious, B. Let's do a little prediction of who do you think should be on the men's team for Raw and SmackDown?
For Raw? Let me see. Who do they have available? Braun Strowman.
I was gonna say you gotta start with Braun.
Yeah. Sadly, if I have to go with it, Sheamus and Cesaro. And what, 2 more spots?
Well, technically, isn't it only 1 more spot? Because Kurt Angle's already been announced the
captain
of the men's team.
Kurt Angle.
And then you gotta throw Roman Reigns in there, right?
No.
Aside from the fact that you don't like Roman Reigns, I feel like you gotta put Roman Reigns as your 5th person in that match.
I'm trying to think of the whole Raw roster.
Didn't he miss the whole last pay-per-view because of being sick or some shit?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even want to put Kurt Angle in there. I want Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor in there.
Or Samoa Joe. He just came back too.
I don't think he's ready. I know he came back. He came back here. And they was here for Raw. He came back here. I don't think he's ready.
Okay. I definitely would put Finn Balor in there. I think I'd put Finn Balor in there over Cesaro and Sheamus, actually.
only why I said Cesaro and Sheamus is because they got that momentum right now.
That's true, but
they just got that momentum.
And SmackDown.
Ziggler is gone. His contract is up. He didn't get released. His contract is up, unless they come to agreements. I put Bobby Roode in there. I put Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. What's that, 3?
AJ Styles and Shane McMahon.
AJ Styles. And if I could, Daniel Bryan.
I don't think they'll let him. They're gonna put.
Either way, SmackDown is gonna lose that match.
Yeah, I mean SmackDown's gonna lose the match because he's Raw. Like that's what it comes down to.
SmackDown won
So
last year,
SmackDown, no matter what, is still the little bitch compared to Raw.
Right.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's no.
But last year SmackDown won.
Yeah,
The Raw women's won it last year, and SmackDown men won it last year.
And I think SmackDown's women are gonna win it this year because I think they have the better roster, to be honest.
SmackDown have more athletic females.
What up, Wendy?
Right. Yeah. So,
Raw just have the powerhouse females.
Right.
SmackDown have the athletic.
I definitely would agree with that statement.
But I can give you all my predictions right now. I can literally give you all my predictions for it.
What you got?
SmackDown women is going to win an elimination match. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose is going to win the tag team match. The Miz is going to win. Natty is going to win.
Who's the Miz going against?
Baron
Corbin. I don't know him off the top.
He's big. He's like 6'8", and he's the one they call the Lone Wolf. He comes out in like jeans and a damn t-shirt. Got like some long black hair, and he basically is just like a bully. Like he does that aggressive power moves and like punches and shit. Like not really a technical guy. He's just gonna beat the fuck out you.
Natty's going to win against Alexa Bliss.
I'm so mad if that happens. I'll be fucking angry. I'm not even gonna lie.
And the Raw is going to take the men elimination match. And the main event, I can see Jinder Mahal beating Brock Lesnar.
Stop it right the fuck now.
I even know that's not happening.
I should slap the taste out your mouth like I'm The Rock.
Okay.
Oh my god. If that happens, I will... Shit. If that happens, I'll boycott the next, like, 5 pay-per-views.
I would see AJ Styles winning and then beating Brock if they want to send Brock to UFC on a loss, but not the other dude.
See, that's the whole thing. I don't have AJ winning on Tuesday.
I don't either.
Just because of one specific reason. No title has ever switched hands across the pond. No main title. No main title.
Has ever
not
switched
the
hands.
Right. Not no IC title I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the actual, the real champion.
Heavyweight
right.
Or, yeah.
I mean, if he does win his bonus qualification, and then maybe they might make that a triple threat match, a 2-on-1 match, or something like that. Because AJ Styles has only been in an elimination match yet. So maybe they still trying to figure out what they're gonna do with him. You just don't know. So that's why I said I had Jinder winning that match.
So when is that?
Oh, that pay-per-view is November the 19th.
November 19th.
Yep, and War Games is the 18th.
And which pay-per-view is War Games? Who's that?
NXT.
Oh, okay.
But it is also an old WCW pay-per-view.
Yes, it is.
Is that the one you said that's gonna be like on a Saturday or something?
Yeah. 2 rings, 1 big cage.
Yeah.
2 what?
2 wrestling rings.
Oh, 2 rings and 1 big cage.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like it's about to. I remember that from WCW.
WCW, I'm telling you, man, great pay-per-view back in the day. I know some people in the chat don't want to admit that, but
there's nothing to admit.
That they had great pay-per-views? They did.
I just never found it interesting. I never did. I'm sorry, I never did.
Dad,
I tried. I even still try to this day and watch it, and I go right to sleep.
Halloween Havoc, Great American Bash, Bash at the Beach, Night of
They all sound like good names.
Night of Champions.
They all sound like good names, good titles.
Actually, I think it was Clash of Champions when WCW was doing it. But yeah, anyway, I think that we've exhausted the topic thoroughly now.
Yes, we have.
I'll do the quick rundown for my picks. Raw Men's is gonna win. Women's SmackDown is gonna win. AJ Styles, or not AJ Styles, sorry. I actually think Baron Corbin beats The Miz. I think Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins win the tag team match. I want Alexa Bliss to win, but I won't be surprised if Natalya wins that match. And Brock Lesnar openly over. No, that's just not happening. He's gonna crush Jinder Mahal. It's gonna be a squash. It's gonna be about 3 minutes of him German suplexing Jinder Mahal and then F5 and then call it a night. So yeah, that's my little quick rundown. Pending the card changing, obviously, because if it's AJ Styles that Brock is facing, well, that's a whole different animal.
Right. Well, if any major.
I'm sorry, we forgot about your boy.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry, we forgot about his boy.
Oh, the realest. The realest in the room.
The realest dude in the room.
Roach in the room. Yeah, we forgot about his boy.
Oh man, I love Enzo. What you mean?
We forgot about his boy.
I know you don't like Enzo.
I can't stand that little fucker.
I love Enzo.
It's like a fucking roach. You just
Ever
can't
since
kill.
he got on the mic and said, "Devon, I'll put that lazy eye back to work." Oh,
That's it.
I was a fan. I was a fan ever since then. Gift a jab, and Devon, I will put your lazy eye back to work. I was done. I was done when he said that shit.
That's a whole mess. So yeah, he's fighting Kalisto.
Oh, is that an actual pay-per-view match though, or is that going to be one?
As of right now, it is.
Really? Well, I would say.
You know how the card changes.
Yeah, I'd say. I don't know who wins that match actually, because
The realest roach in the room.
you really think so over Kalisto? Kalisto's had his number the last few weeks.
Now that he got that push being a heel, and he got the cruiserweights backing him. That's a no-brainer. Interference. Yeah.
That's probably true. Good point. Yeah. Enzo, I guess, wins that match for now.
I think we covered all that. So once again, November 19th is Survivor Series. So we will be back with the actual review of the pay-per-view to let them know this was a little touchdown, just to let them vent about how they felt about these damn reviews. And other than that, we will be back a little bit later on with the top 10 fights.
Anime fights. Woo,
with Shauna Don and P80. So we will see y'all then. Until then, we are out. That's Jose. I said, you hear me? Hold on, though. Shauna B, say goodbye to the people.
I'll be back for the anime, but ta-ta for now.
Well, motherfucker, I won't be back to the anime shit. But, you know, I'll be back with a 19th.
Yeah, right.
I can't talk about anime, because I don't know too much about anime. I just know about Full Metal Alchemist, that's it. That's my shit. Other than that,
You don't have to be a jerk, B, alright?
What you mean be a jerk?
He had to have the petty, just fuck everybody.
He be out here being petty as a motherfucker, like that's his job and shit.
But see, we will catch y'all back in about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours for the anime, and we will catch y'all back on the 19th for the next pay-per-view. This your boy Jose. I say you hear me. Hold on. Don't say you hear me. If you're worthy, and we is out.